Family, what it do? It's your girl Toot. Now I'm back with another video. Shout out to the squad. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. Listen, do me that solid. Like, comment, share, subscribe. That's all you got to do to support the channel, and it's free 99. Now, you guys know we have been doing a deep dive into the Iyana Sawyer / Jonathan Quillez case, okay? This was the story of a 16-year-old girl who was pregnant, and then she was found unalive. Well, she wasn't found, but we know or have a reason to believe that she was unalive, and the uncle was responsible, okay? Right now, we're about to get into some of the forensic evidence. The next 2 days that we react to these videos is going to be all forensic. Okay, it's gonna be all forensic, so please tune in. You dig what I mean? That's all I gotta say. Now we're gonna get into day one of some of the forensics. Now, like I told you, it's gonna take a course of a couple days to get through everything. Some of this is pretty healthy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, but listen, I want to see every nook and cranny of it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It might give me a little bit of profound insight of what might have happened to NaZiyah. These cases are just so similar in so many different ways that it is crazy. Yeah. So it was somebody Mad TV before the Wi-Fi went out. Or whatever, who was trying to give me some information about a text messages when it came down to London Thomas. Please hit the Toot Reacts management page if you can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on Twitch. I mean, I'm not on YouTube. It's showing that I'm on both. I'm not on YouTube. Major TV, that was it. I'm on there. Okay, I thought I had did it. Okay, I just want to make sure. So yeah, make sure y'all put it on there. You saw it. Just make sure that y'all put it on in the mods. Put it in YouTube and put it in Twitch for me, just so they can get that they can get it. You can also go to any of my descriptions on the video if you're still in here and click that link and find it. All right. But without further ado, let's get into this forensic evidence. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oops, hold on.
Matt Burke, you can swear, right?
You solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Dave, good morning to you. Watch your step as you come forward. If you need a glass of water, let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate you. If there's an objection made during the course of your testimony, just pause for a second and let me rule in the objection.
Yes, sir.
And you can adjust the microphone. That says, state your main inquiry. You're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
This lady who's sitting down, her name is Shannon. Like, it reminds me of the detectives on the NaZiyah case. This case is so uncanny, bro. This shit is wild.
My name is Shannon Lillard.
And who's your current employer?
I'm currently employed with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
And in what capacity?
I'm currently employed as a JSO photographer.
And how long have you held that position?
Right about 2 years.
Prior to that, what was your, who did you work for?
I work for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
And what capacity did you work for at that point?
At my retirement, I was a detective in the crime scene unit.
And how long total were you a certified law enforcement officer with JSO?
I was a police officer and or a detective with the Sheriff's Office for 25 years.
And I think you had already stated that your last assignment with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office prior to retirement was in the crime scene unit?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you a detective in the crime scene unit?
Right about 14 years.
Now, in order to be a crime scene detective, do you have to have any specialized training?
With Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, most of the training to be a crime scene detective is on the job. For me, I have an associate's in science degree in evidence technology and core system management, which in today's term is crime scene work. I've also taken basic crime scene classes, photography classes, blood spatter classes, trajectory classes, everything that would help me with my job as a crime scene detective. So I've, over the 14 years between monthly roll call training and the training that I received outside of JSO, I've received lots of training, along with the many cases that I've worked.
Well, I guess it's safe to fucking say that she's qualified. You did? I mean, like, damn.
Now, is there also distinction within the crime scene unit of who can work major cases?
Yes, ma'am. When you first become a crime scene detective, you're still a detective, but you're only what we call a lead detective on burglaries, batteries, robberies, and shootings where nobody passes or nobody dies. Reason being, you got to gain that experience in that first year of going to the major calls, but you start off with the more minor stuff, just say a domestic battery or just a traffic crash, to learn about how to investigate those calls. And while you're on those calls, you have a senior detective who is a major case detective with you on those calls, helping you get the experience and the knowledge to become a major crimes detective. And it usually takes about a year before you can be lead on a homicide case and go like that. So it takes about a year. And then for the rest of my career, I was a trainer and a major crimes detective.
Overall, and I'm just going to refer you, because at the time you were a detective, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, too, when looking at some of the packaging of items, did you have a different last name?
Yes, I did.
So if we see the initials SP, would that have been you?
That would have been me, yes, ma'am.
And just for record purposes, was your former last name Pfister?
Yes, it was.
Could you just spell that for the record, please, ma'am?
My previous name was Pfister, Pfister.
And Lillard, is that Lillard for the record?
Yes, ma'am.
So overall, what are the key responsibilities then of a crime scene detective?
A crime scene detective, the key responsibilities are, we're the ones that are searching for the evidence. We're the one that's documenting the evidence. We're the one that's collecting and preserving it for future, as in coming to court, or making sure it's packaged properly so it can be taken to a lab and then tested further, such as if blood was found on an item, I'm not a lab tech, so I preserve that item, and then later on the homicide detective would send it to, in our case, FDLE for analysis.
And part of being a detective in that unit, was it your responsibility to do any interviews with potential witnesses?
No, I didn't speak to witnesses. My job is evidence.
Now, does a crime scene detective have a different vehicle than a normal, patrol officer?
Yes, ma'am. And with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, I drove a GMC van. That the whole back of the van was equipment and packaging materials that I would need for specific calls. I would also have my camera, if I needed fingerprints, I'd have fingerprint kits in there. I'd have all the packaging, boxes, envelopes, and paper bags like you would get at Winn-Dixie or Publix.
And Detective Lillard, were you in the same capacity within the crime scene unit as a major case detective in January of 2019?
Yes, I was.
And then also going into February of 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
What year and date, what month and year did you actually retire?
I retired October 1st of 2021.
And how is a detective within the crime scene unit assigned casework?
The way we did it in our unit and my squad is, if, we'll say, Detective James had just had a major case that she's working on, then I would take the next one. So we would rotate it so we weren't writing several reports all at the same time, because you want to be able to focus your attention and your report writing after a case is done on that case. So of the, we'll say, 8 people on my squad, we rotated it through the 8 people.
Now, is it common, depending on the nature of a crime scene or potentially multiple crime scenes, to have more than one detective assist?
Yes, ma'am.
However, is there always a lead detective?
Yes, ma'am.
And would that include also a lead homicide detective?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm drawing your attention specifically to Jacksonville Sheriff's Office CCR number 2018-866-278, where you assign the lead detective work for the crime.
Don't be alarmed, y'all. There will be pictures and video coming up shortly. They just got to do this long list of titles and shit so we know that whoever they got on the stand is supposed to be qualified. To sum it up, she's the lady that take the pictures at the crime scene. This extra shit be blowing me. But you figure I'm just letting y'all know.
Yes, I was.
And was the lead homicide detective Billy Abbott?
Yes, it was. Yes, he was.
And is there constant communication that can occur
Thank you,
between
Tawana
the lead
Gaskins.
homicide detective and the lead crime scene detective?
Yes, ma'am. We're always in contact as much as we can. Nowadays, everybody has cell phones, so he was always, calling me, hey, need you to come over here. Are you available? Like on my days off, if I wasn't available, another detective on the other color squad would go and handle that.
Now, through your casework with this particular matter, did it involve multiple days?
Yes, it did.
And did it involve a couple of different scenes?
Yes, it did.
So first one, I'm going to draw your attention, kind of focus on Otis Road Landfill. Can you tell me about how you became involved in that particular location?
Detective Abbott had received information that a dumpster and the victim could have been brought to that Lotus landfill, and said that we were going to search it. So that's how we ended up at the Lotus, or I ended up, because he had told me that we were going to start our main investigation at that Otis landfill. And at that time, we went out there to see what the area looked like and to get a game plan and together how we were going to search a dump. It's the Otis landfill is a landfill. Think of what a landfill looks like, and mounds of trash. So we had to get a game plan on how we were going to actually search for evidence and everything.
Yeah, that's incredible that they even found her clothes. Thank God for them to have that grid thing to where they can be able to narrow down where trash is really dumped. And even having that grid thing, I'm pretty sure that all the time it's not always accurate. But can you imagine, what I'm saying, how much shit you would have to sift through?
Else in this case.
Now, Detective Lillard, how many days approximately were you in the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office at the Otis Road landfill?
I believe altogether 16.
Would that include the weekends?
We took the weekends off.
Now, Detective Lillard, is Otis Road landfill located here in Duval County, Florida?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Were you there every day that JSO conducted a search at Otis Road landfill?
Yes, ma'am. I was there around about 5 a.m. every single morning. I was the first person, besides the officer that was maintaining security on that mountain of trash. I was the first person in the morning taking photographs, and I was the last person leaving every single night, minus the person maintaining scene security overnight. So I was the first and last one. So I would get up there at 5 a.m., and some days I didn't leave till 6 o'clock in the evening or later.
Damn.
And Detective Lillard, were photographs taken to memorialize each day that JSO searched for this missing victim?
Yes, ma'am. I began taking photos in the morning with my issue camera through JSO. The first day we had the air unit come out and take photographs of what the scene looked like prior to any excavation taking place. And we also had the JSO drone unit come out and take additional aerial photographs of the area. So we took photographs in the morning of what it looked like before we started excavating, and then we had photos taken at the end of the day to show what the scene looked like prior to leaving for the evening.
Now, you just mentioned about the excavating, ma'am. Did the individuals that did that aspect, were they actually employees of the Otis Road landfill?
Yes, they were.
Now, people that were participating, though, in the search, were those members of JSO?
The individuals that were actually doing the sifting through the various piles that we had excavated and set up in a search area, they were all JSO employees. They were either corrections officers or they were certified police officers or detectives.
And did you try to memorialize how the operation occurred during these 16 days?
Yes, ma'am. I would take, throughout the day, I would take various photographs of the excavator pulling trash debris from the dig site to bringing it up onto our search area, which we had a large area combed off and cleaned every single night before we started the next day. And we would set it in rows of piles that were manageable for people to look through instead of just one big pile going through it. We had them in very small, 3 to 6 at a time searching. And so we would do that. I would take photos of officers working. I would take photographs of from above.
Let me tell y'all what make this scary. Let me just tell y'all what make this scary. Everybody, when it came down to Iyana's case, right? From what I'm gathering so far, it was a sense of urgency from the minute she did not come home from school. All right? I'm talking about aunties was on there. Everybody scrambling. Things was being made. Things were done even outside of the police. I mean, the family was very active. Now, that's exactly how it should be. And this baby still wasn't found. Now, the thing that makes this shit so terrible with NaZiyah is the fact that there was no sense of urgency with hers. We first waited 24 hours, you know what I'm saying, before her family even said anything about her being missing. Now you take it another step. You get a case to a resource officer who is retiring the next day. So we got 30 days of NaZiyah's file just sitting, you know what I'm saying, at the Board of Education with a resource officer before the police even got the case. So now when the police get the case, we are already 30 days fucking behind. So that means any type of video, you dig what I mean? Thank God for the man, you know what I'm saying, who had his ring camera on the outside, who caught her coming from the bus, because nigga, I walked them streets. And I counted 15, upwards of 15 plus ring cams. Why was he the only person with a ring cam footage? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm praying in the trial we seeing some more cams. Because you ain't finna tell me, dog. You dig what I'm saying? So now we're 30 days behind. So any type of motherfucking video that might have been at any grocery store or any type of fucking convenience store is now looped over. So it's like, nigga, we behind enemy lines, dog.
The hill is what I called it, looking down where we were excavating, and then I would go to the bottom of the hill and photograph it upward so you could see the progress we were making each day and how deep the hole got by the last day we were there.
Now, Detective Lillard, was January the 15th, 2019 the first day of the actual search?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Now, we're going to go through some photographs, what's now been composited states 1. We'll go through some pretty quickly, and then we'll do some a little bit slower. So I'm showing you states evidence 1A. Can you just tell us what we're looking at?
That is an aerial view of the Otisville landfill.
Now, could you kind of circle the area of concentration that JSO was looking for IS?
We were right in that area.
So when you say right in that area, would you agree that's approximately in the middle of the landmass of Otis Road?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is just an overview aerial from Google Earth showing the extent of how large Otis Road landfill is?
Yes, ma'am. This isn't one that we've taken. This appears to be Google Earth.
And next, I'm showing you states evidence 1B.
That is the sign outside of Otis Road landfill. I'm taking that photograph as I'm on Otis Road, right at the entrance to the landfill.
And next in states evidence 1C.
This is just me looking, the actual dig site, if I can draw on it.
Yes, of course.
Is more right in that area. That's just as we were driving up.
That's a good question, Lilia B. I'm going to look into that.
Next, I'm showing you states evidence 1D. You can describe.
That is the top of the hill that we were actually doing the search. The employees of Lotusville landfill had cleared off the top because once they've put their trash or debris from construction, most of this is like construction type debris. It's not like the landfill on 301 where it's household trash. This is mostly building materials and business type trash. It's not necessarily you're going to have whole refrigerators of food and things like that. So this landfill did not have that strong odor of we think a closed refrigerator would be. This was a relatively very clean landfill with construction equipment. So once they finished laying all the trash and compacting it down, they would put dirt on top. And this is the top of that mountain, where they had cleared it and made it very nice for us once we began our dig on the 15th.
Again, and I'm gonna go a little quicker here, just some other images, what you were just describing in states 1E, states 1F, and states 1G.
I'm just showing the area that, the smoother areas where we actually did our searching, where the excavator would bring the piles of debris and set them in those rows like I explained earlier. And this is just on the edge of the rows at the road that comes up to where we were. The little red building is like a spotter that makes sure nobody's coming or going to get hit by a car, because it's still an active landfill while we were there. They just were not dumping debris anywhere near where we were up on the top.
And I just kind of brought my question up.
See, my only question is, so how you know that he didn't dump the body in a completely different garbage? Because, see, a lot of people was thinking that where they found a Victoria's Secret bra and panties, it was a plant. Kind of similar to the Jarvis and them situation. How you found the school ID in the clothes on 7 Mile and Berg, 7 Mile and Evergreen. You dig what I mean? I mean, it was wide open so you could be able to find it. However, there would be completely somewhere else. So how do we know why? My only thing is, I know that from the way that I researched it, they said that it cost almost $85 million, I think, dollars of them to search this landfill. And this will only be one portion of the landfill where they feel like the trash where it came from the pick apart. You dig what I mean? But who's to say that she wasn't in the other part of the landfill? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is depressing.
I have for you, Detective Willard. The area that you all are sifting through with assistance from Otis Road, did that area come from the management of Otis Road landfill?
Yes, ma'am.
In state's evidence 1H, 1I, 1J, 1K. Can you describe what we're looking at?
What you're looking at now is what the landfill looked like once we started. Those cones.
Damn.
That's our area of interest, working towards the bottom of the debris pile, and how as level as it can be for trash. That's where we started.
Somebody had made sense when they said that they felt like the clothes, the bra and the panties was a plant, and he did indeed have her in a car and crushed her. See, he worked with that excavator thing to where, like, you know, we all seen it on movies and stuff like that, to where the cars be piled up and they just crush it completely. A lot of people was saying that he purposely threw the clothes away in a dumpster so they would check the landfill and she would be over there. And that just don't make no sense to me, man, with your kid. Because at the end of the day, bro, we know that was your baby. You know what I'm saying? And you just had no respect for human nothing. Even when it had the same blood as you. And that is crazy to me.
Again, it states 1L, 1M.
That's a lot of stuff to go through. Can you imagine having to go through all of that, y'all? Damn.
Describe what we're looking at.
In this photograph, I'm at the bottom of the debris pile, photographing up. You can see where the excavator is. I had him positioned there, so that was our beginning point where we were going to start excavating, and I'm photographing in an upward direction towards him.
Then states 1O, can you describe what we're looking at?
In this photograph, the excavator has already removed several piles of debris, and the patrol officers and correctional officers are beginning their sifting through the debris piles.
And again, is this just a closer view of JSO personnel going through the debris piles in 1P?
Yes, ma'am.
And then in 1Q, can you describe what type of tools they're using?
In this, because it's heavy construction equipment, we're using heavy rakes, the heavy metal rakes, and some shovels, and they're sifting through and pulling through things to remove the top layer to get to any items that would be underneath the layers of debris. Just think of going through your trash. You can do it with your hand. So you drop something in there, a receipt that you're looking for, you would slowly go through the trash. Well, we're doing that same type thing, but with rakes. We're going slowly from the top to the bottom.
Now, was there any guidance to the other JSO personnel of what to look for?
Yes, ma'am. Prior to beginning our digging each day, we had a briefing down at the bottom of the search area. And either myself or one of the detectives would tell them, this is what we're looking for. I told them we could be looking for bones because the landfill, if there was a body in there, the heat, the decomposition would be a lot faster than if it was, cold, because this was in the wintertime, outside. So we could be looking for bones. We're looking for a bag that might have contained women's clothing, possibly school books or things like that that would belong to a school-age child, or 15-year-old.
A teenage child?
Teenage child, thank
That's
you.
high school?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I know there's a lot going on here. Yes, ma'am. And again, we're going to just fast forward a little bit here. 1R, we're looking at some more piles, same in 1S.
I'm still surprised that they was able to find the bra and the panties. When you look at how much trash it is for them to sift through, it's unbelievable, bro.
Now, can you describe 1T for us?
In this photograph, the excavator driver had already pulled some and was standing by until we had cleared, we'll say, the 6 piles that he had already brought up. He's ready with number 7, per se. And then once we had searched all those 6 piles that were already up there, a bulldozer would then push that off to the side, and then he would lay 6 more piles. So he's just standing by with a group that he had just brought up from the debris field that we were looking at.
Now, and we'll see this probably some drone pictures a little bit later, but when each time a pile is brought, is it put in a separate location from a different pile?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, states 1U. Is that just showing, of course, the dumping of the next pile by the excavator?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, in states 1B, same premise. States 1W. Is this at the top then of that landfill where you were grabbing items from?
Yes, ma'am. That's the beginning of the search, and he was bringing it from the area of interest that we had started doing our excavating. That's him bringing that first one out to us, or one of the first ones out to us.
Again, a closer view of taking items for sifting, and that's 1X. Now, in 1Y, can you describe this picture?
In this photograph, we have Coxwell employees of the Otisville landfill, and you have some JSO detectives to the right. They keep records of where they bring things, and he brought us to the area. This should be the search area that you're looking for of a dumpster that would have come from the junkyard on Main Street. So they keep records, and he was saying it was this area that basically your stuff should be if you're collecting anything from that dumpster on the time frame that we had.
And in stage 1Z, again, is this worker sifting. Now, in stage 1A, was there something?
Yeah, we're gonna get into his bunkmate, the inmate. We got that testimony to get into, and it pretty much corroborate everything that he told his brother as well. He was a punk. I hope Jarvis is down there doing the same shit talking, because let's be real, unless these dudes, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, have a rude awakening with humanity, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or some shit like that, we'll probably never know where these babies is. Even with Iyana Sawyer, like, even knowing for sure what happened, but still not recovering her body, that is blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? You feel like these men could actually just at least bring the baby some closure, the family some closure. But see, they'll take that shit to their grave, because that's the way they can control people all the way to the death. This nigga right here was completely narcissistic. Dead ass fucking serious, and he bears the same type of characteristics as Jarvis. It's almost to the T. You can't even make this type of shit up.
That potentially was of interest initially.
Yes, ma'am. As they were searching, they found some plastic that had red stains on it, and when they found it, they stopped, called me over, and I investigated it, and I tested those red stains to see if it was blood.
And what was the testing results?
It was negative for blood.
And again, it's just a couple pictures of, again, showing what you had done. This include, again, medium viewpoints and close viewpoints of the item that you tested for potentially blood.
Yes, ma'am.
That's just showing a close view 1 BB, 1 CC, 1 DD, and then 1 EE. Is that the testing that you use to detect a blower?
Yes, ma'am. Those are the two areas that I tested. If this would actually have blood proteins in it, I'm going to circle it.
Yes, thank you.
You see there's a Q-tip in there. What I do is we take a sterile cotton swab or cotton Q-tip, similar to what we would use to clean our ears. We put 1 drop of hydrated distilled water on it, and then you rub the area of interest where the stain would be. And then I place it in this test kit, and then there's 2 vials on each side of the Q-tip with chemicals in it. When I pop it, if it does contain the blood proteins, it will turn like a bluish color, similar to the Jaguar blue. And
I wonder, do they do secondary testing? Because god damn it, that don't look right to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what if your kit was messed up? Do they do at least a second test just to make sure? I know it costs money, y'all, but damn.
in this case, it stayed red, meaning that there was no blood proteins in that samples.
Now, at the end of each day, were drone photographs taken to show how much actually was sifted through?
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you just kind of just describe to us, so it'll be a lot easier moving forward with the pictures of kind of the layout here in states 1H8?
In the area photos, you're always going to see, almost always see my van up here. This is where my van was parked every single morning. In this area right here, that is our search area where we put the debris piles that was brought up by the excavator. And this right here was our search area.
And then what about where the vehicles are located to the far left of the square?
The far left, this is one of our first days. They were still setting up safety and security and the medical station. So eventually you'll see some white tents here. That's where everybody was decontaminated and rested, and that's where we had our medical personnel, that if somebody fell or got hurt, that we had medical personnel on standby.
Now, did different personnel from JSO take different shifts?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long would a group do a shift?
They were up there an hour or so, and then they would come back down and a new group would come up. We were constantly rotating them. The manual labor that we were doing is very intensive. It was very cold most days, and they're shifting through construction debris. So we wanted them to be safe, be able to get hydrated. So we were constantly rotating them out. In some photos, you might see one of those four-wheelers. That's how we were bringing them up and down the mountain, because I wouldn't allow any other cars except for mine and maybe one of the canines that were searching. So I was limiting the number of people that could come up on the mountain. So you'll see those little four-wheelers in some of the photos where they're bringing other people up. So we brought them up and down instead of bringing vehicles back and forth.
Again, just different aerial views in 1II, 1JJ, 1KK, 1LL, and then 1MM. Is this just a closer view of the area that the different piles of garbage was taken?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's move on then to day 2. There's a lot less photographs we want, again, just to kind of memorialize what you all have been doing. Is January 16, 2019 the accurate date for day 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in states 2A, I think you had stated earlier, again, when we're looking through your photographs for the 16 days, would you take photographs upon arrival?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of times was the sun rising at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
So in 2A and 2B, was this how the landfill looked when you first arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
2C, 2D, 2E. And those couple of photographs we just looked at, again, was that just to show the status of the actual pile?
Yes, ma'am.
And then again, is this 2F just showing, again, more workers trying to sift through the debris?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then closer.
Was that a sneeze? Lady, I thought Shawty got assassinated on that stand, sounding like that. What the fuck was that? You know what's so crazy is half of their arrogance. It has to come from them knowing for a fact that this body won't be recovered. Because when I think about the arrogance of Jarvis and this nigga, it's just the same.
View in states 2G.
Thank you, KK.
2H. 2I. And then were drone photographs taken again at the end of the day?
Yes, ma'am. They were taken at the beginning and the end every single day.
Now, does this just help for, again, directional purposes that would be put down?
Yes, ma'am. And when the drone, I don't know how to operate a drone, but he explained it to me. The drone would start here, and he would lift up and then begin to do his drone footage, and then he would come back and land on the same spot.
So it states 2K, 2L, 2M, and 2N. Can we now start to see exactly where that pile is located?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just circle that for us?
You can see where if you look to the left or the right of the red circle, you'll see all the debris are pretty much the same on both sides, but when you start looking where the excavator is pulling from, the color is starting to change because we also have some dirt in there that they have compacted, so we're starting to bring that, making a crevice where it used to be this, remember in the first photograph, everything was pretty much at the same level. We're starting to dig deep into the ground.
So Detective Lillard, also at the end of each day, did you get an accounting of how much tons of debris have been sifted through?
Each day, the individuals with Otisville Landfill would give me an estimate of how many tons of trash we had gone through that day.
And just to rewind for just a second, approximately how many tons of debris was from day one?
If I can refer back to my report.
Would that help refresh your recollection?
Yes, ma'am, it would. Edward Smushfield from Coxwell Landfill estimated on the 15th of January 2019 that we went through 478 tons of debris.
Damn. That's a lot of trash. And that baby still wasn't found.
2O, 2P. Those are again just showing the viewpoints of how much tonnage had been done at the end of day 2. Is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you also receive how much tonnage approximately? You just give me the amount from day 2 that had been sifted.
Just to verify through my report on the 16th, they estimated that we went through 420 tons of debris.
Next, we're moving on to composite states 3. Bless you. And again, just some photographs to memorialize it, not many. Do you agree that it was January the 17th, 2019? Is that an accurate date for day 3?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Just want to make sure for the record. Now in states 3A, again, is this when you arrive when the sun is rising?
Yes, ma'am.
States 3B, 3C, and then 3D. Again, is that in 3E? Is that again showing photographs of how the landfill looked that morning?
Yes, ma'am.
States 3F, 3G, 3H. Again, are these further photographs of how the landfill looked on day 3?
Yes, ma'am.
And states evidence 3H, is this at the top of the hill that we're looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
And states 3I is again other JSL personnel shifting through the
Yes, ma'am.
through the garbage. 3J, 3K, and then 3L. This is another pile that's being laid out for the workers.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
3M, 3N, 3O. Now in 3P, could you describe what we're looking at?
This is, I believe in the afternoon, because the sun's completely up. This is the drone, and I'm photographing it as it's coming off the ground, getting ready to begin taking its photographs.
And then the drone photographs, again, direction for 3Q. And now let's get a little bit closer here. 3R, 3S. Now, do we actually see your crime scene van in these photographs?
Yes, ma'am. In the lower left-hand corner, you can see my van here, and the vehicle here is one of the Coxwell employees for those for the landfill.
And would your van have been the only crime scene van at this location?
Yes, ma'am.
So at any point in time, if we see this van in any photographs, that's your crime scene van?
That is my van.
3T. Now, in 3U, can you point out now where we're at the end of day 3 in regards to how much has been sifted?
I know that had to be feeling helpless in the fuck.
And have you circled kind of in the middle of the photograph where you can start to see an indent of that hill?
Yes, ma'am.
You, just for record purpose, you did circle 2 different areas.
I didn't get it long enough.
Did you mean to circle? Here, now I'm blue. The whole area?
Yes, ma'am.
I wish this country had enough money to where I know that they got things gridded off to where when somebody come and pick up my trash, they're gonna take my trash to the landfill and it would go into a specific square to where they can identify where my trash came from. But I really wish there was enough manpower to where every day the shit could be checked. So therefore bodies could be found immediately. Because once a body is put in this landfill, until they feel like something heinous has happened, they're not going to shift. Do you know how many bodies probably resonate or resides in some of these landfills? It's heartbreaking because it's like, bro, it's so easy for people to get away with a murder. And then when you putting our children into this, bro, I don't know, man. Oh, it's heartbreaking, bro.
And then 3V, 3W, 3X, 3Y, 3Z. Again, are they just showing further viewpoints of how much tonnage?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the end of day 3, what was the total tons of debris that have been sifted by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
That was on the 17th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
On the 17th, just verifying to reflect my memory, 210 tons of trash.
Now moving on to day 4, and for record purposes, this states composite 4 of landfill day 4. Would that have been January the 18th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, just a few photographs from where on this day. 4A, again, is this when you arrived and the sun is rising?
Yes, ma'am.
4B, 4C. Now in 4D, can you describe what we're looking at?
That is actually a Crime Stopper sign that we found in the debris pile.
Then it states 4E, 4F. Again, is this just a closer view of the debris pile?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, someone is pointing, before we get to 4D, someone is pointing to something in 4F. And what was that?
The homicide detective was pointing out some paperwork that was found during the sifting by the officers that were doing the raking.
And then as we get closer here, is that then what was found in states 4G, 4H, and then 4I, 4J, and K? Yep.
Yes, ma'am. This was ACE pull-apart paperwork that they had found in the debris pile from on Main Street, the 2152 North Main Street.
And did you collect those items?
Yes, ma'am. In this photograph right here, I've actually put some clean brown paper down and placed those items on it and photographed them individually in the side of my van.
I mean, can y'all tell us what the fuck the shit was? Is it Jonathan's? I mean, can you give us a name, or is it just because it's from the pull apart? I mean, shit. At the landfill, there could be many receipts. Is it something that's gonna be in, you know what I mean, relevant to the case? Say it, goddamn.
Take a moment, please, and just look at state's evidence for it that's been stipulated to.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, ma'am.
And are these the pieces of items that we're looking at in state's evidence for?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, just to understand first some of the packaging of understanding, would you have used a clean brown paper bag?
Yes, each item of evidence, or in this case, the pieces that were located together, are all placed in a clean, sterile, never used packaging. We use paper so it's breathable. We wouldn't want to put it in plastic for long storage in a warehouse where it would possibly get moisture in it and mold. So we keep it in paper to allow the item to actually breathe.
Now, there's some blue crime scene tape. What does that indicate?
That indicates that when I sealed it, and I'll sign it, saying I sealed it and signed it, and then if somebody else opens it, they open it from a different location than where I sealed it.
Now, there's a white barcode with some markings on it. What does that indicate, this white sticker?
The white sticker at the top is what the property room actually puts on it. It has the item number, where it's located in our warehouse, the case number, and numbers associated with the property room. So that's all their information. The black, written in Sharpie, is the information that I wrote at the scene.
And what exactly did you write on the bag?
On the back, I wrote 4 pieces of paper from Landfill, Ace Pick Apart in parentheses, and that's so I know what's in the bag instead of just 4 pieces of paper. Because when we enter it into the property system, it's very basic, and then in the comment section we put a lot of times what.
I know I'm rushing it, but I mean, God damn it, I need to know if it's relevant to us. Is it from the pick apart that he worked at? What's the point of the receipts? That particular receipt. I mean, ladies, spill it. The fuck.
It's not just one item, and I would put it in parentheses on the bag to help determine what was in that bag.
Now, it's a little difficult to see from far away, but for later on purposes, is there some marking as well around that blue seal tape?
Yes, ma'am, that is my initials and ID number.
And what was your ID number?
5972.
And again, was SP your initials at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think you had already said these are the items that were collected from the landfill?
Yes, ma'am, those are those 4 items that you see in that photograph.
And were they collected as is?
As is.
This nigga could just tell folks where she at. You already getting life. You ain't doing shit. Just tell us. Fuck, man. I can't stand a cocky, arrogant, ponytail wearing ass nigga, man. I'm sorry if y'all mans got ponytails. Make them take it out. Shit.
Detective Lord, looking in States 4I, where were you located?
In the side door of my van, it's a typical van has 2 doors on the side, 1 door in the back. I worked out of the side doors, so I had the brown paper right on the floor of the van, and I did those photographs there.
So just moving forward, so we don't have to describe again, at any point in time after an item is collected and we see it with some brown papering underneath, that just means you brought it to your van to preserve it and collect it and package it.
Yes, ma'am. Because once I want to do it as as a controlled environment as I can. Because if you saw the one with the debris pile, there's debris. So I'm removing it from that debris pile, taking it to my van in a more secure area. I'm photographing it. I'm sealing that envelope or that bag up, and then I'm locking my van. I'm the only one with keys to my van, so nobody else can get to the evidence. Chain of custody for that evidence has stayed with me the entire time because I'm with my van. Besides walking around the debris piles, I was in for proximity of my van with it locked the whole time.
Now, was another pile of items collected in states 4N and 4O, 4P, and 4Q.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were the items collected a little bit different in this situation?
Yes, ma'am. He found additional, I grabbed a bag, took it to him, or he put it straight, or the detective put it straight in the bag. Then I took it to my van and did the photographing and sealing there. I think after we found the first one, I had some bags that I carried with me, so if they found something, I could secure it while I'm walking back and forth to my van.
Just take a moment, look at state's composite, which is stipulated into state's evidence 41.
I wish they'd let me know what the fuck they looking at.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, is this what was found at the Otis Road landfill back on January the 18th?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, you recognize it from the same procedures that we previously discussed?
Yes, ma'am.
Your markings and packaging?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you said, I believe, 6 pieces?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are all 6 pieces here?
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm just trying to understand what the fuck made this right here, this trash so relevant. I mean, because we know that he got rid of the van and he was supposed to just get rid of it, right? So was this his receipts that he sold the van in? They ain't telling us shit. You feel me?
Now, also in the packaging, would you put down if another officer had found the item?
Yes, ma'am.
Like
I see it say dealership information, but who's on it? It seemed like when you go get the names and shit, it skips and some shit. I need to know whose it is.
specifically on state's evidence 41, if we're looking at the packaging and we see the name T.
I'm over there motherfucker about the
plus a number.
eyes watery as hell trying to read this shit.
Number.
Yes, ma'am.
And would you do that on different packaging if it was a different officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Nina, you feel me? The fuck?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, is this another picture of the drone in state's 4?
No, fuck this drone. Who on the paper?
Now the drone pictures at the end of the
I'm so sick of
18th,
this. I can't. I don't got the patience to be a cop.
4T,
I've been fucked up all types of evidence. Just get her there.
4W, 4X, and now 4Y. Can you point out to just again the progress of the indentation of how many layers now at this point at the dig site? And have you circled kind of again where it shows that indentation within the pile?
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of a little bit more towards.
It's so much trash there, and I've been looking at that receipt so long, trying to read and find an initial or something to where that shit look like snow to me now. I can't see shit.
Kind of overall centered in the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you ascertain how much tonnage had been sifted through in end of day 4?
In the day 4, referring back to my report just for number purposes, on the 18th, they estimated we went through 270 tons of debris.
Oh, that's it?
Trash.
Latanya?
Ms. French, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Did you say 270?
270.
Ms. French, we're going to take a break now.
Sir, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, it's 10:51. Let's come back out at 11:15.
Hold on, what? Oh, I see. They took a break. Let's bring it up. It's almost over with. About to say you can't break now, Iyana.
And 2019 be day 5.
Yes, ma'am.
And the difference in dates from the 18th to the 22nd, was that based on a holiday weekend?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Me too, Sacktown girl. The fuck? Why we? I mean, that's just all I'm saying. Why even bring it up if we wasn't gonna get a detailed description of what it was from? I mean, we should already know we was in the vicinity. Ain't that where they bring his trash? Hold on, maybe I'm fucked up. Now, from the way I understood, we waited 30 minutes to get her credentials to know what grid. They let us know we was in the right area for the grid, right? Shit, we know that his trash was somewhere in them squares. Now, why in the fuck did she bag that paper and nothing else? Had me feeling like that shit had something to do with the case. The fuck, man? Is it his receipt? Like, come on, bro. You gotta do better than that shit.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, it states 5B, 5C. So we're looking at 5C. Can you indicate what the intent was with this photograph?
In this photograph, I'm showing the progress of our excavation of the area search. You can see it's starting to become a crater versus, if you remember from the first photos, before we started excavating, it was more of a gradual, flat, high area of debris pile, and now we're starting to excavate it, and it's actually forming a crater.
States 5D, 5E. Now in 5F, can you indicate what this photograph is depicting?
This is the area after the officers and correctional officers have searched through those piles, is where they've pushed it off to the side. After we've done searching it, we have to clear it for the next 6 or 8 sections of search areas. So once we're done searching, a bulldozer would push it off to the side.
States 5G. Now in states 5H, could you indicate the purpose of this photograph?
This photograph is to show that it's clear of anything. Each night we would clear it, the bulldozer would push dirt, and they would sometimes they would lay some not gravel, like wood chips on the top to make it a little bit smoother to keep the dust away. So we would clean it every single night to start the next day with a clean surface.
Now in states, and I think in states 5H, and then closer view in states 5I, can you indicate the purpose of these two photographs?
Also in these two photographs, you can see buzzards flying over the landfill area.
What was the purpose of capturing the buzzard?
With the buzzards, they're like vultures? Is that what that's what buzzards really is, vultures? They only be around if it's body, right?
We were advised by landfill employees that they normally did not have the buzzards, because if you remember from earlier in my testimony, it wasn't normal trash like at the 301 dumpster where you would see all the birds flying over the trash piles. This was construction debris, so they normally did not have a lot of bird activity. They're going to have some, because people will throw trash into the dumpsters at construction sites, but they normally did not have a lot of bird activity flying over. But we had unearthed stuff that had been compacted, so odors will start coming out. So they did start noticing some buzzard activity. So we started honing in on where those buzzards were flying.
What's up, pretty ass Mika?
Again, in states 5J, is that just another picture of the buzzard?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the drone photographs, again, to indicate how much tonnage. So I'm going to go on a certain photograph here. Now, in states, there we go, 5S, could you indicate, again, the area to show how much tonnage had been done at the end of day 5?
In day 5, it was approximately 1,140 tons of debris trash from the pile.
So on day 5, you stated that 1,040 tons. Is that total, or is that how much on day 5?
On 5, 1,140 tons of trash.
And thank you, I had stated the number wrong. Thank you for correcting me.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, just to make sure our record was clear on states 5S, did you draw a circle approximately almost square in the middle of the picture where there's an indentation of creating a hole at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Now moving on to day 6 was also state's evidence 6 composite. It was day 6, January the 23rd, 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, in state 6A, is this a photograph when you first arrived? It looks like the sun is rising a little bit later on.
Yes, ma'am. The sun is actually to my back in this photograph. I'm actually photographing towards the west. Because if you look where the excavator is, that's where the debris pile is. He's starting to go down into the debris pile.
Yeah, I don't think y'all should have started around this time. Y'all could have missed some very viable shit. Y'all was sifting at this time. I don't see no ring lights and stuff. They could have missed a lot of evidence. Why they starting this early?
They start bringing items or piles up for us to search.
Again, in state 6C is just now, of course, and during the day.
Yes, ma'am.
And do we see your crime scene van as well?
Yes, ma'am. About in the center of the screen.
Hey, Tennessee girl.
A little, it looks like potentially a small pop-up tent with a blue covering. What was the purpose of that?
It had started at intermittent times rained. If you look at the ground towards the left, the darker mud versus the photographs from earlier, it was a little lighter. We had some rain, so we had set that up, and also to get us out of the sun. Because believe it or not, it was very cold in the morning, but by after lunch in Florida and in Jacksonville, it gets warmer. So we would need something to get out of the sun. So it served two purposes.
Now I'm just looking at the end of the day from January 23rd. So looking at state 6M, again, is this showing the status of how much tonnage had been sifted through total from day 6?
Yes, ma'am.
And then did you memorialize how much tonnage was actually sifted on January 23rd, day 6 at the Otis Road landfill?
Yes, ma'am. Employees of Otis Road landfill estimated on this day, we went through 480 tons of trash.
Next, ma'am, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Evidence 7 composite. It is photographs of landfill day 7. Was that January the 24th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Next, I'm showing you States 7A, 7B. Can you describe what we're looking at in State 7B?
Yes, ma'am. This is the top of the debris pile. The excavator is starting to go down in to start bringing some more debris up. And in this photograph, you see it had rained heavily. We have large puddles of water in the area.
Now, in State 7E, does that give us a good photograph of the items that were used to sift the different debris piles?
Yes, ma'am. You can see the rakes, the large metal rakes that they were using, and they were sifting through each layer of the debris brought up from the hole in the search area.
Again, in State 7F is just another picture of the drone.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm just again looking at the end of the day from January the 24th. So in State 7M, can you describe what we're looking at?
That is just an aerial view in the evening. You can tell it's raining with the drone, and you can see the crater approximately in the center that where we were searching. The excavator would actually drive down here and then pick up.
And just for record purposes, did you draw an arrow that is pointing downward towards a larger circle area, which is the indentation of the debris pile? Is that accurate for the record?
Yes, ma'am.
And then at the end of day 7, January the 24th, 2019, how much tonnage debris has been sifted by JSO?
Approximately 205 tons.
Next, ma'am, is showing you State's Composite Evidence 8, which is a PowerPoint photograph of Otis Road Landfill, date 8, and was that, ma'am, on January the 25th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in State's Evidence 8B, what are we looking at?
In this photograph, this is a canine officer from Ocala Police Department. His dog is what is considered a cadaver dog, and he came to assist our agency in searching for our victim's body.
And next, in State's 8C, could you describe what we're looking at?
In this photograph, the dog and his handler and me are walking into the debris pile where the excavator is actually pulling the debris out of. We're walking down into it to begin his actual search.
And did you take some various photographs of the canine, Detective King and his dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Then States 8D, 8E, 8F, 8G, 8H, 8I, 8J, 8K. Were those all photographs then of Detective King and his canine?
Yes, ma'am.
Then it states 8L. Can you please describe?
Because of the buzzard activity and that we're not there at night, we had gotten access to a trail cam like hunters use, and that is the detective placing the trail cam on a pole right outside of the debris field that we were searching, and it was pointing in the direction of our debris field in the area that we had found had observed the buzzards flying.
Again, is this in a picture of that trail cam in States 8M?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we're also, again, like every day,
Yo, baddie yellow. I'm trying not to be negative as hell, but I was about to say the same shit. Like, they only brought that one dog. Fuck, they gonna do that one dog? You see all that trash? Shit, they need a pack of them bitches, bro. They pick them up every day. Got them all down at the thing finna euthanize them, put their nose to use. Bought one damn dog for all that landfill.
photographs at the end of the day taken on January
The fuck?
25th, 2019.
I
Yes,
can't.
ma'am.
Now, looking in States 8T, is this an accurate depiction of how the debris pile looks that was being sifted through at the end of date 8?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you memorialize how much tonnage had been sifted through on January the 25th, 2019?
Approximately 110 tons.
Now, in States A8AA, you had mentioned earlier about later on there was some tents set up. Do you see those depicted in 8AA for the record?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe what was the purpose of that tent?
The tent, you'll see it in your right-hand screen, and you can actually see my crime scene van in front of the tent. They set the tents up for decontamination for the patrol officers. It was also our emergency area where we had medical personnel if somebody got hurt, or where they could actually decom, get hydrated and things like that, because they didn't allow food or drink onto the hill.
And was that just another viewpoint of the trail cam that was set up in States 8CC?
Yes, ma'am. This is an approximate view that the camera for the trail cam would show. I got as close as I could to show you the direction that the trail cam was actually pointing.
Now I'm going to show you what's been marked in States Evidence 9, is a composite of photographs from the Otis Road landfill day 9. Was that January the 28th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, the passage of days, was that where a weekend had been in between?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you now State's Evidence 9A. Do we see that trail cam as well in this photograph?
Yes, ma'am. And it's in here, approximately the center of your screen. I've circled in red. That's the pole that we had placed the trail cam on.
Again, is that on top of the actual hill of the debris?
Yes, ma'am. It's just northwest of the search area on that top mountain. The trail cam was off to the side, so there wouldn't be any activity of us searching through the area, setting off that trail cam. It's off to the side.
Now, in States 9C, did Detective King come back out with his canine?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
I'm sorry, that was January 28th. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
And then in 9D, do we see as well Detective King 2 and his dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in States 9F, can you please describe?
In this photograph, you can see several buzzards in the sky.
States 9G. Now it's moving on to the end of the day drone photographs. Showing you States 9N. Is this a depiction again at the end of the day of the indentation of the area that's being sifted by JSO?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you memorialize how much tonnage had been sifted on January the 28th, 2019 by JSO?
Yes, ma'am. Approximately 325 tons of trash.
And then also, based upon putting that trail cam up, did you go back, because we have a different date here, which is January the 26th. Did you go back and look if it had captured any data from the weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you memorialize those pictures as well? I mean, keep those pictures as well?
Yes, ma'am. I believe this was the weekend, and I received a phone call from Officer Vejeda, and he had said that he had seen some of the buzzards flying. I was still working my regular shift, not at the landfill, but my regular shift, and I drove up to the landfill and downloaded the trail cam photos to see what he had seen.
So in States 9F, could you circle where you see a buzzard?
Approximately center right of your screen, you can see the wings of the buzzard.
Now, on this actual photograph, we see 1/26, 29. I think that is part of the year, and then you see a time frame. Is that approximately when it occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Because that maybe looks more like an 8. Would that have just been off of year for this year?
It wasn't my trail cam, and I don't know how to operate them to verify the date and time on it.
But y'all were there in 2019?
Yes, ma'am, definitely 2019.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Now in States Evidence 9T.
In this photograph, you can see the debris pile, and you can also see the buzzard.
I ain't trying to be funny, but this is about 15 pictures of this buzzard. Now, I get it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, but unless he flies down and land on a piece of evidence, why are we taking these pictures? Like, is this like some of the stuff they do? Because I feel like they put in information in the juror's brain that is not needed. Show me what's on the paper, and if it got his name on it, show me where y'all found the underwear and the bras at. Let's look around that area. Taking pictures of drones and compasses and fucking birds flying. I feel like I'm watching Nat Geo.
And then here's our debris pile. We see the arrows pointing to the search area that we had been searching.
So based upon States 9T, the buzzard is flying right over the debris pile.
Yes, ma'am. In the same general area of the debris piles where the buzzards were.
just feel like they waiting.
Next, I'm showing you Man States Composite Evidence 10. Was the 10th, and it's involving photographs from the 10th day at the landfill.
See, because let me just tell you why. Because if I'm a juror, right, and I'm looking at all of this and shit, the only thing that I'm really starting to understand from landfill day 1 into day 10 so far is that when they started, they was pumped up. But the more the days go by, I'm seeing that they are sifting through less and less more trash. Now, call me what the fuck you want to call me, but I would look at that as a juror and say she could still probably be out there. Because on day 1, you sifted through 2,200 and some tons of trash. By the time landfill day 10 get here, it's like 1,325. Now, at least unless somebody stay home or they start substituting the dog with people. Because what the fuck? That's what I'm going to pay attention to. Unless you telling me that they finding some shit, I'm not really understanding what I feel like we could be doing something else.
Would that have been January the 29th, 2019?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Next, I'm showing you State's Evidence 10C. Did Detective King come back out as well to the landfill?
Yes, ma'am.
And do we see him depicted in State's Evidence 10C?
In approximately the center of your screen, you see Detective King and his canine right at the top of where the debris pile would start going in, where the excavator would start going into the debris. He's starting his search. We tried to do it first thing in the morning before it was all stirred up by officers in the excavator. We had him go out.
As well in State's Evidence 10D, we see his canine.
Yes, ma'am. We had already laid out several piles, and the canine as.
Here we go. And then kind of difficult with this.
I mean, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking. It looked like this nigga doing a photo op. I just don't understand why we got all these pictures of the dog.
Was there areas of concentration that was also looked into regarding that debris pile?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, at the end of day 10, all viewgraph.
Instead of one about this one, 3 or 4 at the next.
An area. And Virginia's
Piling them up on.
a little deep now.
I'm standing on the top of one of the sides of the crater. Excuse me.
Showing how deep now has been obviously gone. G.
His name searches Detective King to the more searching to find.
Alicia Bates and her canine in the State's 11H
Yes, ma'am.
of where she was taking her dog. Do we see Alicia Bates and her canine?
Yes, in this photograph, she's actually on the outer area of the crater, and she's still searching up to the bottom to see if
We
the.
see Alicia Bates. Can you describe what we're looking at?
Okay, thank you. Now we getting
In
somewhere.
11K, do we see Alicia Bates canine?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in the State's 11.
Well, we should have had her dog out in the beginning, cause he went straight to the evidence. I don't know what the other dude's dog was doing. The nigga who done took all the photos and shit. See, he went out there handling business.
Al, can you describe what we're looking at?
In this photograph, you're seeing some Victoria's Secret bras and panties.
And were these found there at the landfill?
Yes, ma'am. And one of the debris piles that were brought up from where you see that crater is the excavator was bringing it out. This was actually located by one of our search members in one of the debris piles.
And were all these items found together?
Yes, ma'am. These were, yes.
These particular ones?
Yes.
And do you take various photographs in LM, LN, LO, before then moving on to look at each particular item?
Yes, ma'am.
Now in States, and did you collect all these items and package them and take them to the property room?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And that included the one that we saw in LP?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not trying to ridicule nobody or anything like that, but I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. As a mother, an auntie, as anything, I don't want my 16-year-old wearing panties like this right now. Not when you biting lips and shit. That would be unacceptable in my household. Fuck that. You know what I mean? You barely be able to wear just the regular pinks. You know what I mean? I just don't.
And then LQ, would that be the same pair of underwear?
Yes, ma'am.
This shit was planted. This was some planted shit. I don't think that baby was nowhere near that landfill, y'all.
And would you also indicate, if you could, the size of each item?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, for 11S, 11T, 11U. And were all these items part of Victoria's Secret?
Yes, ma'am, they were.
Okay. Again,
it just looks so fake because she had a bag that she had those underwear in. You would think that the underwear would have been with the bag. That's why you know the nigga was playing fucking games. He just put that in the garbage because he knew that it would probably be found there. This nigga here was
11B indicating size, 11W, 11X, 11Y. Was that associated with another pink in color Victoria's Secret bra?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And then it states 11Z, AA, 11.
super intact. And then another thing too. I mean, just think about it. I mean, you throw the panties in the place that's near your job. You put her somewhere else. Now they're not even looking to somewhere else because they concentrating with a bra and the panties would have been found. The same thing was shouted like with NaZiyah. It's just not adding up.
BB, 11CC, was that involving a black bra that was indicated to be a Victoria's Secret brand?
Yes, ma'am.
And was this another black bra?
Yeah, they did say that. They said that the Victoria's Secrets and stuff looked just like hers, but the sizes was off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's to say that these could have been rebought? But we got to also keep in mind that she was 5 months pregnant at this time. So, you know, her hips probably would have spread it a little bit, which she was probably used to wearing. Her sister said that she would wear smalls and mediums sometimes, and she would even size up if she found a pair of underwear that she really, really liked real bad, but they didn't have her size. She would sometimes go and get a large. So it's not far-fetched, but it is just a little bit. You will ask some questions.
And part of that pile in states 11DD, 11EE, 11FF.
Yes, ma'am.
I think, yeah, I thought that was it. Again, was that indication of being a black Victoria's Secret bra?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Next in states 11GG, 11HH. Was that also another pink color informed Victoria's Secret bra?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Now in states 11II, in a different area of sifting was another bra found.
Yes, ma'am.
And do we see here in states 11II the actual bra being a part of that area first?
Yes, ma'am, about the center of the debris search pile, you can see the leopard print bra.
And was this bra also collected?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's also in states 11JJ, 11KK, 11LL. Or that is part of all of that leopard print, and was that a Victoria's Secret brand bra?
Yes, ma'am, it was. It's a pink collection.
Now in states 11MM, do you recognize that individual?
Yes, ma'am. That is me at the top of the debris pile.
And what was the purpose at this time for being by the debris pile?
Kind of show you distance and size. I'm 5 foot tall in boots, and you can see the crater versus my size.
So is it fair to say that the depth now is greater than 5 feet?
It was a lot greater than 5 feet.
Now in states 11RR, is this again at the end of the day indication of how deep that area is now that debris has been taken from?
Yes, ma'am.
And again at the end of the day 11, was it memorialized how much tonnage had been sifted through?
Yes, ma'am. Approximately 210 tons of trash.
Again, just real quick, is that again just an indication in states 11 TT how big now this area has become that has been collected?
Yes, ma'am. You can still see me in the upper right-hand corner that I'm circling, and then you can see a detective and a canine handler at the bottom. Kind of gives you an indication how deep, where I'm drawing the arrows, we have been searching.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out like why he would have lied to his brother and said that he put her in the dumpster if he didn't. I'm gonna be real with you. From the amount of people that I've been seeing on these photographs, there's not really a lot of people that search it. There's a strong possibility that they could have missed that baby, especially when you're talking about decomp and things like that. It's just crazy, but I don't think she's there. I don't think that she ever was. I don't know, man. This shit is just fucking. I wish this man would just find Jesus.
And then before, if you remember from the first day, it was flat debris trash. And now we have dug a large crater.
I believe his brother. I believe he told his brother the truth. I just think that they're looking in the wrong places. I just don't know how comfortable I would feel. Like, even if I knew that they were picking the trash up, right, that day. You know what I'm saying? Me putting her body there, that to me, that takes a lot of guts. Especially if you know you had that conversation with your brother. I mean, like, I know you probably was looking at it like maybe he wouldn't have said nothing, but I don't know, man. That shit is just wild to me.
And you're going to dig and bring possible.
Now, at the end of the day, now if you describe what we're looking at in States 14N.
In this photograph, you can actually see my van to the left, the front passenger side front corner. And then I'm at the bottom of the debris search area, and you can see collected it and took it back to my van and did the close-ups.
And that would be then 14L, 14M, and did it indicate what brand it was?
It is Victoria's Secrets.
Now, if you describe what we're looking at in States 14N.
In this photograph, you can actually see my van to the left, the front passenger side front corner. And then I'm at the bottom of the debris search area, and you can see the width and how much debris we had gone through by this day.
Now in states starting in 14R, now in 14S, start off with the overall view, with some more items found that had the brand Victoria's Secret.
Yes, and members of the search team had located additional Victoria's Secret bras in one of the search debris piles.
And did that include, it looks like a khaki type color bra in 14T.
Yes, ma'am.
14U, a red lace bra.
That's so
then
fucking
another
sad.
khaki style bra in 14W. And then another khaki style bra in 14Y. Were those all the items found together?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'm sorry, my question was wrong. Were they found together?
Yes, ma'am. They're found in the same area together in one of the debris piles that were brought up from that crater area.
And did you package them and collect them and put and preserve them in the JSO property room?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
My thing is, why would that be the only thing you had took? Like, we know for a fact that he was pretending that he was about to run away from her. But here's the thing. You only packed bras and panties. It wasn't no outfits, no clothes. That's wild to me. So it says to me that they were going away for a weekend or some shit, and he told her to bring some sexy shit. I don't know if the runaway completely thing is because I'm looking at what she packed. If you're a young lady and you're smitten by this man and he's saying we're going to run away to be together, that's not going to be all you pack. You feel what I'm saying? The only thing she packed was underclothes. No toothbrush, no nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So he coerced her to do something to where it was going to look or appear a certain way. And she was just so naive she didn't get it. Because that's not making no sense to me. He told her that they were going somewhere for a weekend or some shit to celebrate being parents and they was going to be together and to bring something sexy. That's what he did. This is not giving runaway material to me.
Now, in states 14,
it's just not.
Leading up into 14 CC was another item of potential interest discovered.
Yes, ma'am. In that photograph, if you remember the longer range photo, you can see two detectives looking at the ground. That's a lot of times what they did when they found something. They would stand over it, and then I would come up, because I might not have been right there at the time. Because while they were doing the searching, I was still going down in the debris hole looking for potential evidence before it was brought up too. So sometimes they would have to wait till I could get up there to do the photography. So that's in this photograph. You see the bra approximately in the center of your screen, which I'm circling, and you can see the detective's feet in the photograph.
Closer view then of that bra in states 14 DD, and then in states 14 EE, did you turn the bra over?
Yes, ma'am. That's the interior side of the bra.
Now, was the full bra found?
No.
Was it just one side of it?
Yes, it would have been one cup of the bra.
And was it Victoria's Secret brand?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Again, in states 14FF, is that just indicating, again, the brand and the size?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at the end of day 14 in states 14LL, again, is this just a indication of how the debris pile looked and the depth of it at the end of that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And to memorialize how much tonnage was sifted by JSO personnel on the end of day 14?
Approximately 309 tons.
Next, I'm showing you states composite 15 for record purposes. It's a composite of photographs from landfill day 15. Is February the 5th, 2019 an accurate date for day 15?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Now, we obviously jumped from 15E then to 15F with some other bras found as well on this particular day.
Yes, ma'am.
And are we looking at one of those, it looks like a lighter color, maybe khaki or a light pink color in states F15F?
Yes, ma'am.
And in states 15G, did it also indicate it was Victoria's Secret brand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then in states 15H, did you also find it looks like maybe a hot pink color bra?
Yes, ma'am.
And it says pink, is that a form of Victoria's Secret brand in states 15I?
Yes, ma'am. Pink is a collection of Victoria's Secrets, the pink collection.
Now, at the end of day 15 in states 15Q, does this kind of indicate now that that crater has actually expanded in width as well?
Yes, ma'am. We started our narrow search, and then once we had a crater, we started expanding it in an outwardly direction, more of a square as you can get on a debris pile, and with an excavator. And it got larger and larger and larger as the days went by.
And then at the end of day 14, end of day 15, February the 5th, did you memorialize how much tonnage JSO personnel had sifted through?
Approximately 230 tons of trash.
Yeah, I would like to know that too. Who had the Victoria's Secret charges? Because this is a lot of Victoria's Secrets for a little girl. And from the way that Jonathan is trying to explain it, Kimberly didn't have the best job. Somebody buying her these panties. Now I know she did have a job when she disappeared. However, I don't know how comfortable I would be as a parent with all of this. Hold on, y'all.
I'm just going to show you a couple photographs. Not many. You let us know if you recognize.
W subs.
It's been marked as a composite stage 20. Do you recognize stage 20A?
Yes, ma'am.
Ivana, thank you, boo, for the 5 gifted.
Main Street, where the car is, that is the southbound lane of Main Street, and the Ace Pull Apart is on the west side of Main Street.
And
okay, y'all remember that Sacktown girl? She did.
At 921 North Main Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Here in Duval County, Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did detectives also, and we'll hear from K9 King later, a K9 was brought to Ace Pick Apart?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the dog hit or alert on some different vehicles at that location?
Yes, ma'am. I was advised by homicide detectives that they had already searched it prior to calling for me, so they brought me to the areas that the dog had a hit on, and that's when I did a more extensive search on that vehicle or area.
And after being at Ace Pick Apart, were you also then asked to take some photographs of a red Chrysler Town and Country minivan?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were you asked to photograph this van because it had been previously owned by the defendant Jonathan Quiles in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And I'm showing you State's Evidence 21 for record purposes are photographs of the red van. It's a composite. Now, before we talk about composite 21, however, did you go to a different location regarding this van?
Yes, ma'am.
And what location was that?
Referring back to my report to get the correct numerical, it was 1734 Hiram Street.
And that's not where the defendant had lived at the time?
No, ma'am, that is the residence of the person who bought the vehicle.
In State's Evidence 21A, is this a photograph of how you viewed the van when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am, it was backed into the fenced-in yard of the residence.
Then State's 21B, and I'm just going to go through these, I'll stop at 1 or 2, but did you take overall photographs of the van?
Yes, ma'am, I took overall photographs of the van, all 4 sides, and into the interior.
Again, State's 21C, are we looking at the driver's side?
That's the driver's side of the minivan with the rear slide, or the rear slide open.
And then are we looking at the back of the van, State's 21D?
Yes, ma'am.
And then are we looking at the passenger side, State's 21E?
Yes, ma'am.
Now that you said you had taken some interior photographs as well in 21F?
Yes, ma'am. This is overall photographs of the driver's compartment.
And then as well, is this the passenger area of interior purposes in 21G?
Yes, ma'am. That would be the center where the center seats of the minivan are.
Now, regarding the interior aspect of the minivan, did you test any particular areas of interest?
Yes, ma'am. Inside the vehicle, there were several brown stains, and I tested those using that same hemodent test kit that you saw at the landfill, and none of those stains tested positive for blood proteins.
And again, in States 21H, is this then the rear with the hatch open?
Yes, ma'am. That's the rear cargo hatch area.
And again, is this some of the, in States 21I, some of the brownish stains that you had talked about testing.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, states 21J, an interior view. 21K, again, you're just doing a 360 around the van, is that fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
And there were not any items within the van in relation to the defendant, was there?
None that I could find, no, ma'am.
Or IS, is that fair to say?
Do y'all think it should be only one set of testing done?
No further questions, Judge.
So Davis, I'll get you a microphone as well.
Afternoon, Detective.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right. So, if you don't mind, we're going to start off with you were called out to the Otis landfill, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were there approximately 16 days as you testified to, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You were there from 5 a.m. until that, sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. every day.
Yes, sir. It just depended on when we shut down for the day.
Okay. Now, were you limited by the weather because of the rain and that, or did you guys work through it, rain or shine?
When it was raining, so we'd go to those tents, or if it was a harder rain, they would take them down to where their vehicles were, and we would sit in our vehicles. But I remained in the area.
Okay. Now, over there in the Otis landfill area, just to be clear, the area you guys were searching is where you were told that Ace Pick Apart had been dumping in that area, at least as according to the records.
Ace Pick Apart didn't do the dumping. That was where it was brought, and that's where Ace Pick Apart's dumpsters were dumped.
Okay. Now, are you aware, or were you aware, that Otis, as you said, that does construction, commercial business, all of that kind of stuff, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay. You aware that the malls also dump there?
It's construction, building materials, and things like that. That's all I knew.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics of where they collect their dumpsters from, but it's
So-
not. from
So help me out. So construction places dump differently from regular trash landfills. So we got two different types of landfills, huh? I didn't know that.
house from your household trash. It'd be more like your bulk trash that you would put outside, per se.
Okay. Commercial businesses, though.
Correct, sir.
Okay, so malls,
Correct, sir.
okay, specifically the Avenues Mall, right?
I would not know that, sir, but that is a mall, and it is,
Okay, Town Center,
it's a mall.
okay, and up on the north end at the Rivertown Mall, correct?
Yeah, they are malls.
Okay. Were you or are you aware that Duval County Schools for the bulk trash also goes to Otisville landfill?
Yes, sir. All I know is that Otisville landfill takes stuff from construction type materials and things like that. I don't know specific areas. You would have to talk to the employees of Otisville landfill to tell you where these other items are coming from. That is not in my purview.
Okay, so you wouldn't have any knowledge that Goodwill also dumps there or anything like that either?
Well, if Goodwill dumped there wasn't a lot of clothing like you would find at Goodwill. We did not have that. We had mostly construction type materials. We had Amazon packages in large rolls that it almost seems like they went on forever, that where it would spew it off like you would get a package from Amazon. We did not have the large amount of clothes like you would normally find at the Goodwill.
Okay, but again, you were only focused on one specific area. You didn't search the entire area where other businesses, like Goodwill or anything like that, could have, their trash could have been unloaded at, correct?
Correct. We focused our attention on the area that Otisville landfill employees and their records said that the dumpsters from that time frame of our search came from the ACE pull-apart. That's where they dumped that trash, and that's where our concentration of our search was. Our search was not anything that came from a Beaches Mall or a Regency Square Mall or the Avenues Mall. Our search was stuff from the area of Ace Pull-Apart. That was where...
That's what's tricky, because I honestly feel like he could have dumped her clothes inside of the dumpster by his job, but it's just something that's telling me that he wouldn't have put her in the clothes in the same area. It just looked like those bras and panties was a plant, because they still didn't find her bag and everything else that she had when we witnessed her on the camera from school. Second of all, I can't believe, I know that it would have been hard as hell to sift through that much trash, but just looking at one specific area still opens up a wide spectrum of shit. A wide spectrum of things being missed. That's just all I'm saying.
We had narrowed our search to, not other businesses that had dumped trash.
Okay. But you don't know if, I pure fluke, that some of the trash from these other businesses could have gotten mixed in there, or a dumpster was dumped over there and the records weren't accurate. You don't know that, do you?
I don't know that. I wasn't there when it was dumped. All I can say is the items that we did find, did not find an abundance of clothing. The only clothing that we found was Victoria's Secrets. And I wasn't finding blue jeans and tank tops and dresses and things like that. We were finding the bras and the panties and the one book. That's what we were finding. We weren't finding other items, and that's why our concentration was on that general area.
Okay. And you specifically mentioned the Ace Pick Part receipt that you photographed. There were several of them. But those were blank receipts, correct?
Those were...
Sir, I don't like your tone. And the back of your head is blank as well. You know what I mean? They done picked apart some of your head. You feel me? Just cut it off. Just cut it off. It's pissing me off looking at it. It's a shiner. I don't like his tone, y'all. Because, I mean, like, what is you trying to say? I mean, we get it, but can you move on from the line of questioning? You saying the same thing 8 different damn times.
There's paperwork from Ace Pull-Apart. It would be, I would assume, where they start their record keeping from Ace Pull-Apart. That was actual paperwork from the company that owns Ace Pull-Apart. It came from their company. It didn't come from the Avenues, because the Avenues is not Ace Pull-Apart. That came from Ace Pull-Apart with the address on Main Street.
Pissing me off bad.
If it came specifically from Ace Pick Apart, all you know is that is a receipt from Ace Pick Apart, correct?
It was a blank paperwork with the address on Main Street, which was where our concentration started from.
Right. Again, you don't know if it specifically came from Ace Pick Apart and their dumpster, correct?
As I'm saying, it's paperwork from that business on Main Street.
Okay. Now, the cadaver dogs. You had more than one dog out there, correct?
Yes, there were several that came out to assist in our search.
Okay. And going throughout that search area, the dogs did hit several times, correct?
Correct.
And there was nothing found, correct?
Correct. Also, when decomposition of a mattress, you saw several mattresses and rugs, it can give the odor to animals, because you think our skin cells are on those mattresses, and so there was some. And that's some of the areas that they hit on that had mattresses on it. I'm not a canine handler, never was a canine handler. That's just what I was getting from other detectives that are canine handlers. So that's how I was able to get that information, that kind of information. And anytime that we've ever used the searching, I've received the same information from every detective about what they can and cannot hit on.
Okay. Now, you stated that there was buzzards and stuff like that out there, right?
There were buzzards flying over the debris pile.
Were there also vultures?
It looked like a buzzard to me. I'm not a bird person either. It was a bird that was flying over the debris pile.
So whatever it was, you just took a picture of it because they had advised you it wasn't normal for them to be there.
It was that correct, sir. It wasn't a seagull from the beach. It wasn't a parrot or anything like that. It was a larger winged animal. It wasn't like an eagle with the large wings. It was like a buzzard that you see on the side of the road eating roadkill.
And you stated that throughout the course of the search, there were several bones and things found, but it was not human.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell to me too, Nina. Out of all of that debris, all of the tons of trash that they searched, they didn't find out one other piece of clothing but those bras and panties. That's wild as hell to me. That's why I'm saying that feels like a plant to me.
Yes, it didn't appear human to me, and they took the bones to the medical examiner, and the medical examiner determined that they were not human.
Okay. And you tested several areas that had red stains and things of that nature, as was evidenced in the photo slideshow, correct?
You're talking about the plastic?
The plastic. There was other areas that were tested as well, correct?
I believe at the dump it was only the plastic, correct?
That one?
It was the only thing that had a brownish red stain that could have been possibly looking like blood.
Okay.
The other one was in the Chrysler.
Okay, but so in 16 days, there was only one spot that you came across that may have looked like blood, and when you tested it, it was not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then, in going through all of this, you found a book from Terry Parker High School, but you don't know what dumpster area that came from either, do you?
I don't know what dumpster it came from. I can tell you it was in our area of interest search in the same general area where you saw that crater. It came from the area that the Otisville landfill employees had said that is the area that was dumped from Ace Boulevard, and it was from that general crater area that you saw. One thing you asked about the other blood. You think that the items that in this debris pile was compacted. Those bulldozers and front end rollers would roll it to compact it even further. We also had rain and other weather objects, and then we had dirt and sand and other debris put on top of each layer of debris. So we didn't have a lot of red stains and blood stains that we could see in the debris and dirt and garbage.
Okay. Now, when you were there at the landfill, did you just photograph?
That's what I want to feel, Veronica, because it's like, I'm not even understand. That to me is not even an overnight bag. I don't know what person, when they're talking about running away with anybody, would just pack drawers. Never in my life seen nothing like that.
Anything that had Victoria's Secret on it?
Especially a young lady who is smitten by a man and is in love. I mean, they're going to make sure that they have outfits to make sure that they look in a certain type of way. I don't see somebody just wearing drawers or bringing drawers unless she was instructed to do so. That is the weirdest shit in my life. I have never seen no shit like that.
Specifically because that's what you were advised to do?
We collected any clothing that we did find.
Any clothing at all?
Yes.
Okay, but you testified that you found blue jeans at a couple.
I said we did not find blue jeans.
Not at all?
No.
Okay. And you found no other clothing other than those that you photographed of the Victoria's Secret bras?
That I can recall. That's all that we collected.
Okay. And When you guys were out there with the canines, you showed several different pictures showing size and relation, like you standing off to the side and then the detectives down at the bottom. I mean, by the time you guys were done, you guys had gone through a good 30 to 40 feet of trash. I mean, this was a big crater that you guys had created with looking in this area, right?
It was a large crater. The final total was 5,529 tons of trash. So 5,500 tons of trash.
Okay. And through all of that, no sign of Iyana, correct?
No, we did not find our victim's body, no ma'am. No, no sir, apologize.
No, that's fine. And you found no blood,
No sir. No sir, we did not.
no trace of anything remotely related to anything that could have been contributed to a crime scene, correct?
No sir.
Okay. In addition to that, after you left the landfill, you go to Ace Pick-a-Part at the direction of Detective Abbott, correct?
Actually, I was at Ace Pick-a-Part before we did the landfill.
Okay, well, I'm just going in the order of the presentation, forgive me. So you went to Ace Pick-a-Part at the direction of Detective Abbott.
Correct.
All right. When you went to the Ace Pick-a-Part, what date were you there?
I can refer back to my report.
Please.
On 1/8/2019.
Okay, so you went there actually about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks before you went to the Otis landfill.
Yes sir, on the 8th of January, yes sir.
Okay, when you went there, you guys searched, or the detectives had searched along with cadaver dogs at Ace Pick-a-Part too, correct?
From what I was told, I was not there during their search, so I can't testify to what they did prior to my arrival.
Okay, there were several vehicles that canines had alerted to and things of that nature, correct?
Correct.
All right, now these vehicles, you don't know if they were involved in fatal traffic crashes or injury traffic crashes or anything like that, do you?
No sir, it's a vehicle junkyard.
Okay, so to the best of your knowledge, all you know is the canine alerted to it and you went there to photograph or catalog it, correct?
Correct sir.
Okay. Did you do any DNA swabs there?
Yes.
Out of any of those DNA swabs, did any of those swabs come back to IS?
I don't know, all I do is the collection and preservation. Any other stuff would have gone to the lab and it's sent by the homicide detectives. Our agency keeps the crime scene detective one step removed from actually sending stuff to the lab. Our specific job is the collection and preservation of the evidence, searching, preservation, collection of the evidence. The detectives are the ones that
Yeah, he did something else with her, y'all. She was never in that landfill.
determine what goes to the lab. We're just there for the documentation and the preservation of the said items. So I don't know. All I can tell you is the items, the brownish red stains in the red vehicle that I searched did come back positive for blood proteins, and it gave that bluish color on those hemodents, like I talked about earlier, that where it came back red, these actually came back the blue, so it did have a positive reaction to the brownish red stains that were on the seat and the tissue, I believe.
Okay. And you collected and preserved that, correct?
Yes, sir, along with a blue glove,
Okay.
rubber glove.
All right. Now, all that was done on just the one date at Ace Pick-a-Part, correct?
The one day that they called me out,
Right. You didn't go back there on any other days?
I wasn't called back out there, no, sir.
Okay. What date did you go and photograph the red Town and Country van?
Referring back to my report for clarification for my memory. That was on 12/30/2018. 12/30/2018.
Okay. So approximately a week and a half after IS had gone missing?
I don't know when she was gone missing.
Okay, fair enough. And when you went out to where the vehicle was, you specifically went through, you found no evidence of blood, correct?
Not in that vehicle, no, sir.
Okay. Did you find any evidence at all at the direction of the detective or anyone? Did you find any evidence at all related to this case other than being asked to photograph that red van?
I photographed, searched the vehicle, smelled the carpet, smelled the seats for any signs of decomposition, odor, blood odor. To me, it just smelled like motor oil, dirt, and mildew. So no.
Man, 1 second, please, Sharon.
I mean, but ma'am, are we just going off your nose, off your palate? I mean, she sniffed the seats. What you mean? You put your nose to them? I really don't. Is that is that correct protocol? I'm not being funny, y'all, but it's just that I don't know. Shit, the fuck.
Just one brief follow-up question, related to a spec part, if you could. The blue GMC Envoy that you photographed.
That's exactly what he do. He's trying to reach for reasonable doubt. Because he's basically saying that shit could belong to anyone. Now, as much as I don't like his missing hair, right? He had my exact thoughts. You feel me? Because it's like, to me, to dwell on just one grid area, because that's where he used to work, to me, is not really doing a whole complete search of the landfill to me. You looked at one grid, you know what I'm saying, where the trash came from his job. But if you're me, or if you're any logical person, you feel me, you would never dump something, you know what I mean, where you work at. And if you did, you will plant some shit somewhere else so people can shift their attention somewhere else. So what he's doing is he painting a picture for the jury to say, hey, bro, you know, who's to say that somebody else's trash was mixed with this trash? You dig? And that would have been the same thing that I felt as well. I mean, that was crazy as hell, but whatever.
Brittany, I confused her with a different, no further questions, Your Honor.
No redirect, Your Honor.
Detective, good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the good thing is this is probably the weakest part of the evidence that we have. Now, I'm going to make sure that we start the text messages bright and early tomorrow. I was trying to start early today, but then something blew over here in my neighborhood to where we was in the dark for a minute. You know what I mean? But we're going to start the text messages. Now, I will be honest with you. The text messages is very lengthy. That's why I want to start early or whatever like that, because I'm telling you, something ain't right. Y'all hold on 1 second.